Yesterday was a day of just being with my own thoughts about the series. And I do that every once in a while purposefully. I do that so that I know that what is percolating is going to be true to the tone and the voice and of the books themselves, so that I'm not all over the place in the writing. So, one day I might be listening to something that is more, I guess, soulful or something, or jazzy, or rocky, or angsty, or peaceful, And the book is everything, but it still has a unifying heartbeat. So I don't want to be scattered with this, with dissonance and with disharmony. I want it to, all of those instruments, all those parts of the symphony to come together in in this particular song, in this story that I'm attempting, no, that I am telling. So, next one. So, this morning though, I decided, since it's a Sunday and I sit with I like to sit with thoughts that elevate me most days, but on Sundays, it's a little more internal. And weekends, I don't usually take any sort of appointments, and I don't do any coaching. I don't even update my groups unless I'm feeling hyper compelled to do so, like today, like in recording this blog audio. But usually on the weekends, I try to just unplug from being on, and professional. And Saturdays, I spend a lot of time with family. Fridays, I do that too, a lot, or writing and Sundays, I do a little more introspective, I guess, introspection. Yeah. So, okay. So what I wanted to just touch on is this idea, this, I don't like that word idea, the clash of worldviews that Michael Meade was talking about in his podcast episode 335. Okay. And I'm going to provide the link under this blog post because I can't say it better. He's telling it. I'm gonna show it in my story, and how this whole collapse in the Western realm is due to a disintegration of worldview, where nothing seems to make sense, but there's a collapse and deep discontent and disharmony and just terror, actually, for some people, because they don't realize that what they believed is simply a worldview. It's a construct. It's conditioning, actually. It's a way to see reality, but only one way. And so they can't integrate it. And so, what is so interesting, I'm not even done listening to this podcast episode, and he used so many of the words that I've already built in this book that is like I said before, I feel as if I'm given this opportunity to see things as a weaver might. And there are these pieces of fabric or these threads between everything. Like you might see if you pull back and see the geometry of life itself, of the universe. Everything is connected. And it's beautiful. And there's so many different colors and ways of connection. And some of the threads are thicker and some are thinner and some quiver and some, are the central thread, the stronger ones. But it's all there if you can see it. And so same thing with realities. I mean, we know that how we see things and our belief, and actually maybe we don't, maybe a lot of people don't see this, and that might be where the discontent is coming from. But the reality itself, like the truth is that all of these realities exist at the same time. And what we're doing is focusing on these threads that come together, that put together a worldview that can either match what we've been taught or support what we're feeling safe to support. So, but it's not all of the realities. And so I do talk about mental and emotional wellness in the books. I don't talk about it. Some of my characters experience a lot of things relating to that. And my premise in mental and emotional unrest and dis-ease, and I'm going to unpack that in another audio recording, but it's literally the inability to integrate all of realities, all of your realities that you're aware of. And so going back to this clash of worldviews that Michael Meade is talking about, and this same thing that's happening in the books, is that veil's edge and the edge of the veil represents, it doesn't just represent, it is the metaphor of this division between worldviews and the inability to pass from one to the next or escape one or explore the possibilities that exist outside of one particular worldview leads to a slow death, maybe. It leads to an unlived life, discontent, strife, anxiety. I don't know what to do with this, right? People think inside the veil, I don't know what to do with this. This does not make sense. My life does not make sense. Life itself doesn't make sense. And just think of how terribly terrifying and just creating such a, not just personal sense of despair, but a collective despair, what that does to a collection of people. And so we're on the edge. The people are on the edge. And what does that mean metaphorically? I'll let your mind go and explore that one. We're on the edge. The edge has opportunity, but the edge has always been, in one worldview, seen as something to fear, that there's death on the other side. The unknown means death. But in another worldview, the edge means possibility. It means the threshold from one point to the other. It means change, adventure. So I thought that was so cool. All the words that were coming up in this podcast episode are the very things that are represented and brought to life in these books. And I just wanted to share that. I'm sure I've got more to say about that, but he says we find ourselves in uncharted waters. And one of my bodies of water in the books is called the Black Unknown, which is in the Western realm, the ocean in the Western realm, and what is it? The Deep Uncharted in the Eastern. So I'll let you chew on that for a bit until I do the episode where I unpack that. All right, so I just wanted to put a shout out to Michael Meade. Oh man, you gotta listen to his podcast. It is definitely complementary to the work that I'm doing. And I hope you enjoy that. So episode 335, A Clash of Worldviews. And have a good listen. Hope you enjoy that.